Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue working on the dragon we started about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And this time we're going to focus mainly on the mouth itself and how the teeth are connected into it. The first layer you see me doing here is actually something I'm going to remove quite fast. There we go. We're going to draw a line around those motors and actually making sure that it looks like the motors are connected into the skin. And that's also what you see me doing with all the other teeth, just going around there, making sure there are at least some basic skin folds. I'm also using symmetry for this part, and that's just because it's way faster and I can easily move more material at both sides. And after I've done the basic layers, I can easily disable the symmetry and just work on getting the model a little bit more asymmetrical. First things first, after drawing around all those teeth, I can actually go in a little bit lower at the insides here, and you can see me really painting the details needed to convince the model to be connected. And we're also creating the lip around here, and that's actually to make sure that those teeth are behind some skin. Just going around the entire model. And after we've done that, we can actually go to the insides, like between the molars and the outer lip, and really push the part in. And after that, we're going to use a move elastic brush to push in the insides actually of the molars, the inside skin. And what that does is actually, when there's light falling onto the model, you can actually see that edge a little bit more clearer, and that'll actually give it more of an ambient occlusion feel, making sure that it looks connected. I also decided that the lip here wasn't actually wide enough, so I'll increase the size of that quite a lot later on, just to make sure that it is in a good contrast compared to the rest of the model. First off, adding a little bit of detail and using dam standard to actually carve into the teeth. Here I'm going around it once to actually make it more stand out, and adding some detail in the insides. And I know there will be a tongue into this model, so you won't actually see a lot of it, but just to be sure that there is some details, so depending on the render engine I can actually show that part, depending on the view of the render, of course. And like I said, now we're going to increase the size of that lip a little bit, just because it was pretty tiny. Just pushing it out a little bit more, and after that using the carve brush again to actually get into those corners and making sure that the lip is standing out compared to the rest of the model. And now we repeat this process actually for the top side. So first of all, going around each molar and each teeth, just to make sure that there's at least some kind of a skin fold, how it is connected. And you can also see me already working on the insides and already carving in separate paths for each teeth, so that it would be a little bit more convincing the way it's connected. Now I'm working on the insides of the mouth itself a little bit, just to make sure that it's all equal. And I'm also pushing in the mouth a little bit more, upwards actually. And that just makes the mouth a little bit bigger and gives it a better flow. And after that we're going to push in the bottom side of the teeth once again to create that ambient occlusion-like feel when you look at it after the render. And after that we're going to do the same thing we did the other side, creating a lip here that'll actually go around the entire mouth and making sure the teeth fit in there, and using a dam standard to actually separate the two pieces and separating each teeth by themselves. The next part is going around the cavities quite fast, just to pull it out a little bit. That's also done with the dam standard. And now I'm going to work a little bit on the corner of the mouth. I'm just going to make this skin part a little bit thinner, and that'll make sure that it looks like a stretchable object. And also creating a little bit more of a curve in there, and actually making sure that there's enough material to actually cast the shadow, and that'll make sure that it looks more blended together. And here the inside of the mouth, just a little bit of work done there to actually make sure that it's all connecting up and has at least a little bit of detail, so once you render this character from the front side, you would even see some more details. I'm also smoothing out a little bit of the lower side here, and that's just to make sure that it all blends together, because I know I will do an overall texture on the rest of the model later on, but those bigger details that I'm drawing in now are just more important, so they need to be fixed and done correctly in the first try. And now the rest of the eyes will be done with just a regular move brush and trim dynamic, and the same thing goes for the mouth, actually creating the basic shapes on which we will place textures and alphas and regular brushes later. And I'm also going to position the lower eyelid, and you'll see me moving that one around quite a bit because I wasn't happy with the placing of it. It was a little bit too far out, and actually wanted to connect the lower eyelid almost beneath the bigger eyelid, beneath the upper eyelid. But with a little bit of move elastic, we can get it quite a long way. I'm also pushing in the back sides here a little bit, and that's just to separate it. You can see me really using the trim dynamic to smooth out the object. And a little bit of ghosting here, and that's just so I can see where the edge is, and I can move it around a little bit so it will actually line up with the rest of the eye. And now I'm pushing it in just to be sure that there's no material stuck behind the eye that you could actually see when you're looking from the side. And that's it for this sculpting. I would say thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.